All right. Let's see. Oh, says I'm live. Oh, says I'm live. All right. So I've been having trouble with my internet. I've had the guy out here 8 times, I think it is, since the 18th of March. And they still can't figure out what's going on with my internet. So let's see how well we're doing. I figured I'd just sit here and chat and clean up my desk a little bit. And then we'll see what crap. These are Diamond's graduation invitations. Aren't they cool? She graduated Saturday. She's done for a few weeks, and then she goes back to start her master's. And then she'll have another graduation, this time next year again. I'm very proud of her. All right. There. See? Hi. Hi, Sprina. Hello, Crafty Vintage. I think, if I remember correctly, you're Dawn. It's been a long time. Names are bad. So, we're going to see how long I can stay alive. Actually, I have a project I want to do. It's rainy, it's icky, so I'm stuck indoors. All the housework's done. So I actually can sit in my craft room and do some crafting, which feels like forever since I did any crafting. So Scott came up with this cool idea. I have one that says you know, oh, rocks. I have rocks, and it says, "Go on." Yay! Yep. Yay! See, that was good on me. I remembered. So I have out in my yard. It says it's little rocks painted like ladybugs, and says "Ladybugs Crossing." Scott wants me to do. Oh no, I can't remember what it's called. Hang on. Oops. The other one, Chinese beetles, I think they're called. Hey Siri, Chinese beetles. What do they look like? Oh. Put beetles in and get the beetles. I don't think they're called. They're like ladybugs. They look like ladybugs, but they're not ladybugs. What are those? I know they're orange. They're not red. I can't remember what they're called. Well, also I remember it'll pop in my head. But I'm gonna make some and then make a little sign. It says blah 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 invasion. So these are a bunch of quotas. Yeah, see, these are quota. Yeah, these are quota bears. That's from the box set I bought them. And forgot I had these. What's this say? Mary. This one says Elf Squad. And this is a Christmas tree. Oh, so kids do them. So, Sabrina, if you're still here, and you still can watch while I'm sitting here, if it stops going live, please let me know. I'm very nervous. So Sabrina found me rocks at the bins a while ago and sent them. And I have not opened them. Let's see. So we're going to open them now. Ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, so is that. Ooh, these are nice rocks. Okay, but these are some nice rocks out of that package from Sabrina. Okay. Some good size ones. That's cool. So I'm going to do like 6. So that one. I like this. A couple of small ones. Some tiny ones. There we go. I saw one where they took the rocks, and I'm thinking about doing that. Is you put 2 like this, you put 1 like this, and then you try to get ones about the same size. Ooh. So okay. Then you start adding some smaller ones. It's supposed to look like a butterfly. I don't see it. I may have. Okay. I'll have to look at the picture if I saved it. I came across on Facebook the other day, and I think I shared it, but I'm not positive. I have it too. Okay. And I discovered a wind chime I could have Riley do. He's coming this weekend. Okay. I have Rue this weekend. She's coming to spend the night with Nana. Okay, so they're not quite red, but they're like this darker. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of them damn things. Scott's not home right now to even ask. Huh? Right there. What is this? Oh, Asian beetle. Boom. There we go. Asian, not Chinese. Because we find them all the time in our house. The Asians little things. Okay, now that I know what it is, Asian. Um, there we go. So they're not, like I said, they're not quite red and they're not quite, I mean, they're like this orange color tone. So I'm going to mix. I'm trying to find a good picture to go by. The little pesty things. So there's my palette. I'm going to put a little red. Ooh, came out running. We're going to see what we can mix. Oh, I got cramp. So how is everybody? Tell them my hand cramped up. Oh, that's looking good. That's perfect. Perfect blend of color, I think. Okay. And I wonder if I should paint them white first. I bet you if I did a white, it would be better. So bear with me. That's how I did them last time. Or it took a lot of coats. That's right. Now that I'm thinking. Okay, I forgot to do that. Okay. We're just going to wash that off. Wash the whole rocks, actually. It's a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to put, how did I have that? Because the one I have for the ladybugs, it says Ladybugs Crossing. And I'm going to do Asian beetle. Beware, I don't know, something. Getting ready to get Zach? Yep, it's about that time. Well, I was outside earlier. And I was edging my sidewalk. I was halfway done when Scott got home and he said, "Baby, rain's going to be coming." So then he took over with the edger. And then I scraped up scraped it up. Filled the hole I had in my yard. And then cut my chives up and they're drying right now. And then as soon as they dry out in a few days, they'll go in a container and I'll have fresh chives. I'm going to start my garden this weekend. All I have to go is get the dirt. I got most of the seeds, so I don't have to worry about that. So I could have hustled these too, I betcha. That's all right. Way it works. I tell you, college graduations are very long. We were 2 hours. 2 hours. Oh my lord. And I figured it out. Hi, Dana. And then I sitting there in my head. I have diamonds next year again, and in the following year I have Leah's, and in the following year after that I have Allie's high school graduation. I'm like, wow. That will be Leah's first graduation from college next year. And then she's continuing on. She's going to go into CSI and psychology. And hopefully someday work for, how she put it to Scott and I, the FBI. And her specialty will be psychology and profiling. I'm hoping my internet stays. Really, we haven't got to. Scott hasn't had no time. We haven't got to AT&T, because we're gonna switch internet providers because we're done fighting with Spectrum. And the last guy that came out, he told me they have their wherever their big thing is that spreads the internet out. For some reason, there isn't one in Wisconsin. So we connect to the one in Ohio or Michigan, and they're fighting each other. That's what he thinks the problem is, because he was doing speed tests, and when you do a speed test, it'll tell you where it. And my computer was in Michigan. That's how I'm going to tell you. My computer was in Michigan. My tablet was in Ohio. My other tablet was in Ohio, and my phone was in Michigan. So he thinks that's the problem. So they were going to do something to have that stop. That's why I have the issue. They claim that's their newest explanation. Because I had a brand new spanking box that they just upgraded their boxes, and I have one of the first ones to get it. And he goes, "You shouldn't be having this problem." I'm like, "No doubt, dude." So he said, worked and worked and worked and worked. I shouldn't have no problem, he said. But he thinks what it is the signal coming from two different places. So they were going to block one where I would only get, I don't even know, I haven't did a speed test, that I would only get from one, not two different things. I was like, well, you better figure it out. Either way, I'm switching though. I'm done with fighting Spectrum. They've been out here 16 times. I think he told me 16 times since me and Scott moved here. Dealing with my internet. And it's always the same issue. We're supposed to be having the highest speed out there. We're not getting it. Uploads. I was at, when he did the upload when he was here, I was at 25%. And I asked him, what's that mean? It means when you upload like YouTube, when you watch a video, and it takes so long, or if I upload a video myself, why it takes so long to download, it's because of all that stuff. They tried to first tell me it was my computer, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. My computer's not young. I forgot when I bought it. I'd have to go way back and look. Because I told Scott, I could figure it out. And he's like, what? I said, because I did a video when I got it. And I guarantee if I find my directions, since I keep my directions for everything, it's probably the receipt's in there. But I don't think it's older than 6 years. I wonder if you could look in and when you register. There's got to be a way I can find out. Well, either way. And then I have a tablet that I don't know how old it is because it was given to me. And then I have my Apple laptop. I have a laptop a laptop that was given to me, and I don't know how old it is actually. And then I have my tablet that's an Apple tablet, and it's only 2 years old. And I tried every one of the devices to go live. My phone went live, of course it's going to, but none of my computer, my tablet, or my laptop would stay connected to go live. And I showed him. And he's like, I said, I said, you know what? What if I had to work and this was my job? And then Scott was telling me yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Because his phone was just ringing. Steady. And I'm like, Jesus, what the hell is going on? His boss has Cellcom or something and it was out. So Scott goes, his boss got a hold of Scott and says, I'm going to see if I can leave a message. I don't know if it'll ring through a Cellcom or not, but just in case they get messages, I'm going to have them call you. And he dropped off all the stuff that Scott would need to handle it because he's going through Cellcom. All his customers know that number. So Scott told him, so now he's switching telephone companies. It's going to what we have. We have U.S. Cellular. And Scott goes, I've never had a problem with U.S. Cellular, with our service. So he's going to go over to U.S. Cellular and see what they can do for business, because he's got a business. And Scott suggested, you know what you need to do? He's like, you need to get everybody their own damn phones that are linked to you and get it where, okay, and he doesn't know if that's why I use U.S. Cellular. Yep, I've had U.S. Cellular for 22 years. Never had a problem. I take it back. I had one problem. We got new phones the Friday before my mom passed away, and they were the old flip phones. And we left Green Bay and went into Oconto County, and I couldn't call anybody. I was like, what the hell? Neither could Scott. So luckily I grabbed my phone book. But as soon as we ended up back in my county I lived in, I could call anybody. So we went to U.S. Cellular. And I'm not in a good mood. My mom passed away. I went to the U.S. Cellular on that Monday. My mom died Sunday. I think it was Tuesday, because we had her funeral Wednesday. And I walked into U.S. Cellular, and I'm in tears because, I'm not in a really good shape to be at U.S. Cellular, but I need my damn phone. When I went up to my aunt's in a different county, and I could just hear, they never told me that I had to switch when I went out of whatever, Brown County to County. Now the phones automatically do it. Well, mine could automatically do it, except we didn't. The sales clerk didn't switch it when I picked out my phone, or Scott. So we both didn't have any service. They credited us. I felt really bad when told them, I'm like, I really needed my phone this weekend. My mother died. I couldn't call any relatives. Lucky I was able to use my aunt's. And yep, that was the reason. It's the only problem I have with them all the years I've had them. Only time. Oopsie. Little rock was that time. I've had them for 20 plus years also. Minus a few years when my girls moved to Boston and I couldn't get good reception or got some. That's reason. So we used to think about it, but then I didn't get service. And then we went back to a seller. Yeah. That's where we got our tablets from, our Apple tablets, my phone. Yep. So I guess Scott's boss is switching over to U.S. Cellular because Scott told me he had no his phone was for 5 days. I'm like, what? Yep. He says 5 days. He told Scott. And he still. I don't know if he's got it back. I meant to ask Scott when he came. I home today. So what else is new here? I'm graduated from school. Quota sprain. I got a really bad sprain. He's out of soccer for the rest of the season. Walking around with like this cast. Got my garden stuff. All right, Sabrina. Yep. Go get Zach. Let's see. We're gonna go get the dirt this weekend. See, I'm doing my garden in litter. I kept all my litter boxes, and that's how I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna put my vegetables in litter boxes, and they're food safe because I checked into it. So that's how I'm gonna have my garden. We were gonna do a garden in the ground, except until Scott, we took so long to mow, get that grass, so we're not gonna run the grass. So we were going to. And Scott's like, it's a garden. I'm like, okay. Then the son-in-law called and asked Scott about this table his work was getting rid of. Scott looked at it and says, well, take it. And here it's a nice table. And it's got slots in the center on both sides. That's what Scott saw in the picture. And he thought my litter box would perfectly go in there. Well, they don't. So he put this other thing he had on top. And my litter boxes are sitting on top this year. And next year, he's going to buy me a frame, and then the litter box will go inside. I'll have to take a picture. Maybe I'll do a video. Before and after. So, this weekend, we're going to go get some mulch to put in the bottom. I wonder if I should do coats. 2 coats. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 coats. And then, the dirt. And then I'm going to plant my seeds. I'm doing carrots, cucumbers, green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper, onions, potatoes, green beans, yellow beans, and I think we're doing lettuce too. I don't remember what Scott also suggested. Oh, I think cucumbers. I don't know if I said cucumbers. And it's cold. Our weather right now, you swear? Yep. Well, in one of my gardens. See, this is my Scott's buddy, or our Scott's friend from his old job. I got the wood. He's coming. I think he told Scott Thursday. What did I do with it? Thursday. Oh, I have. So, cute. Frozen. Oh, Davey's coming Thursday to pick up my wood because Ba-ba-doom. I am making a little free library. And this is directions I got off Pinterest. And these are some examples. I'm having 2 of them made. I got all the material. It's all leftover material. And I sent pictures, and Dave's like, yep, that'll work. And I got the shingles and everything. The only thing I don't have, and we're going to pick up this weekend, is the hinges in the plexiglass right there in the knob. So we're going to go get that this weekend. And I got the long post. And one is going to be a little library, free library, and the other one's going to be free art. So little projects like maybe some painted rocks, bookmarkers, just little canvases, you name it, whatever. Like my little tins I made. And I'll go take a quick picture. I'll be right back. And I'll show you what I did this past week when I couldn't do anything. So it's cute. I like it. I think it looks good. Oh. Alrighty. It's cold out there, guys. It's raining. I put my sweater on. I gotta chill. But there's this spot in my yard, and I hate it. Hate it with a passion. I lose this. Hate it with a passion. And I struggle to figure out what to do with it. Only spot in my yard that bugs me. And I have a love-hate relationship with the trees. But we don't want to take them down because there's, Scott's dad planted them. One's called Scott, the other one's called Lynette. They were planted in 1969. So, whoops. Okay. I try to make it bigger. This spot in my yard between there's 2 trees. There's one on each side. Right there. You guys see? There we go. It's probably not a very good picture. But I just redid that all. I added the chair, this welcome sign, a little bird bath. This says Scott and Tina on there. It's a little, little Christmas tree bird bath. I even got a decoy turkey that I found it in the garbage. I'm one of these. I'm walking along and I see somebody in somebody's garbage pile and I can upcycle. It comes home. That's where I got that tree. It's where I got that turkey. That right there. See that? That was a bird bath holder that Diamond had. It broke. She was gonna get rid of that, and I'm like, I'll take it. That gold right there. That's a base from a fan. A fan up at the ceiling fan, and that is just a bowl that Scott's mom had around, and I made her bird bath. So, and then we go over here, and I think I showed this. I'm not sure. The welcome sign I did. So that's the welcome sign my girlfriend gave me, my neighbor, and Scott drilled it in this post for me, and I got that in the center. And then, of course, the skunks, the little skunks. And then I have two of these old chairs, and I keep moving around. Cool. Oh yeah, I got a wind chime I have to redo. I finally found it. I was like, where did that wind chime go? It broke, so I put it in my shed, and I found it the other day. So this old chair, and then I had this old bucket, and that's a little pitcher. That's a birdhouse, and I got some flowers. And then the nest fell in my yard, so I picked up the nest, and that's a little succulent guy. His head was supposed to grow, but it didn't. So I kept him. I thought he was cute, and it just stuck him in a bird nest. And then over this way is the tree. You can't see it, but I have my ladder. But in this space, about where that chair is, about that area is going to be one of the little free libraries. And then this end, about where the turkey is or bird bath, is going to be the other free one. And then I'll have a little path. I just see these plants right here. I just took them. Them are boysenberries plants. They were in my backyard. I got tons of them. So I brought them up here, and hopefully they'll spread. Because this spot, see how that? Right, oh, see how that? I can't get grass to grow because of the trees, and that's what irritates the hell out of me. Because I can't get grow. I've tried shade. I tried all different types of grass in there, and so all me and Scott can think about is putting sod down and see what happens. I hate it. I hate to see how it looks in front too. That's how the back looks. See how that looks? Yeah, I can't get grass to go. Oh my goodness, I've been chopping so much blackberry and raspberry bushes. My mother-in-law planted them. Oh, and here's that when I see ladybug crossing. See, that's how that's out there too. I thought I sent. Let's see. Oh, I know where I can show you the whole thing. Hang on. I think I sent it. There we go. That's the whole thing. That's how it looks. You guys can see. See the tree? There it is. I have a ladder out there with little bears sitting on it. Ladder a friend gave me. Bought the little bears at a garage sale because I don't know how they were supposed to go up. He never told me. I only paid $3 for these two bears. So that's how I tie them on the ladder. And that's the front of my yard. Right there. That's where my cemetery is at Halloween. But that's where the little libraries are going to go. And I'm going to put some mulch down and maybe some pavers. But here's the chair. Oh. See, I gave a friend of ours, I had these, they were Scott's in the basement. They were just chairs. So when we were cleaning out, I gave this chair away to Dave. And that's what his wife did with the chair. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of kicked myself later. Because after I saw stuff on pictures, I'm like, oh, but then I had these other chairs that I had. So, but my neighbor, I asked if I could take a picture, and she said she didn't care. This is her free little library. Oops, And I told her what I was doing. She's like, "God, go ahead, Tina. More the merrier," she says. Let's see. Look at that. See, there's Coated Bear and this Diamond and her friend Elizabeth. And there's Dimey, Savannah, Coated Bear, and then me and Scott, Sam, the whole family. Kids hugging her. But yeah, she made it. She did it. So, oh, this is one of the favorite pictures. Okay, let's see if I got where some. Is that the one? Here's the stuff she wanted. She has her diploma there, and she's in the background, and then she's in the background of the kids. I love how we did that. But I'm so proud. I'm a proud mama. Now she's going for her masters. She said after her masters, because I asked her she's going to go for a doctorate. She says she's not sure she's going to get through the masters. She doesn't really need the doctorate for what her career is. It'd be nice, like she says, to have that in front, but she doesn't need that. And she's like, I think it's another, she told me 2 years after that, she goes for a doctorate. So she's doesn't need it. She already got a job before she even graduated. And they know that she's still going to school. And she has to do, she had to do 200 hours of some, for something. I don't remember why. And she did it where she works, actually. And now she's due 400 for next year. So she already had, she told me, 8 hours into that already. And I'm like, how are you doing that? They classified, it's all about, it's volunteer, you don't get paid. So she didn't know she could still do it through Oneida where she works. And they said, yeah, as long as she doesn't get paid. Mental health degree? Yeah. She is, I'll tell you in a second because she wrote it for me because I keep forgetting. It's on her invitation. She is Bachelor of Social Work, Child Welfare, emphasis summa cum laude, whatever that means. But she also, this next coming year, she's doing her master's, but she's also taking a class that she was taking, but she dropped it because it was just too much. It's the heck she tell me? Native culture, blah 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 class. So she's gonna do that this year. I can't remember but it's a history of natives because her kids are native. Plus, due to the fact she works for a tribe. She likes what she's doing. She says she had, she just got the job, I want to say, in March, end of February, beginning of March. So she said there was one case it was hard and so like that they have counseling. Diamond told me for the social workers just in case there is a case. And she said one of the first ones, she went to her supervisor. She goes, I don't know if I can, because it's an abuse case, sexual abuse case. And it affected her. So they're working on that case together, her and another gal. Because, she's new out there. So, but she, she was telling me because she came in. And it was one of those days that she decided not to go home right away. She thought it was a good idea to come and see her mama. And she knows the door's always open. And I could tell. She asked, like, her boss says, you will get to that point where you know it's your job and, it won't affect you as much, but you're just starting out, so it hits the heart. No. Um, she, like them says, I knew what I was getting into when I chose this career. She knew that. She goes, I didn't, how did she put it? The child was only 3 years old. And and she says, she thought, how did she put it to me? She thought if she did have that where it was hard would be children the age of her own children. But she said, it hasn't affected me as much on their age than the 3-year-old one. So, but she has her own cases. She told me she can't tell me details but she just said it was a little 3-year-old that was abused and it hit her. But I don't know the name of the person or all that. She didn't share that, so I don't want to get her in trouble. And she said that one hit home a little bit, so she asked, and that I said, will that be used against you? No, actually, they prefer you to let them know if it's a case that you have struggled with, so they can get the right worker in that work with the family. So, and I found out we were talking. Was it this weekend? Yeah, we were talking this weekend. I didn't realize with Diamond's job that she may have to go to court. I'm like, what? Because if I for some reason have to go to court, if I have to go to court. I didn't know that. Yeah, HIPAA. Yeah, she basically told me she was a little 3-year-old girl and she was sexually abused. And she, no name, no major details, but in my own head, I can imagine why when she said that sexually abused at 3 years old, that's what hit her. But I said, did they take you off? No, they just assigned 2. Because, like she goes, like my boss says, I said, how do you get assigned? How do you know who gets assigned? They look at whose case log there is and how many this worker has, And at the time, the person that assigned me didn't realize how new I was. She just like, oh, Diamond has, And of course, yeah, because she comes in once in a while. And all of a sudden she'll be like, hi, Mama. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm on my lunch break. I have to be back downtown in court at da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh. She drives a vehicle that says Oneida Nation on it. But they did the walk. Okay, hang on. Shoot, there's pictures. I'll show you. Last week, the weekend before, because I was going to do it too. I was going to do it with the kids, but I was sick, so I couldn't do it. Okay. It's I Wear Red May 10th. It is National Missing, Murdered, and Dangerous Women Relation Walk. And you wear red, you walk. There's Diamond and Coda Riley. There's Allie's somewhere. She was with a bunch of friends. I was going to do this, except I was so sick, so I didn't take the chance. But she volunteered to register people coming in to sign up for that. So that counted as hours for next year already. I'm like, oh, that's cool. She goes, I didn't realize it until my boss told me. You know, Diamond, I wrote this down for hours for you because she didn't get paid. She volunteered to do it. So, but they all got T-shirts because you had to let them know that you're how many. You had to pre-register and then just check in. And I was like, my mom can't make it. She's sick. She's very sick. She wanted to so bad. And they have a bridge in Oneida. It's an old bridge, and now it's just a walk bridge. They light it up all year for something all year long, like 4th of July. It's red and blue, Christmas, but it was red, and all these red shirts were hanging, and on dresses, and just for missing Indigenous people, men and women, because there are a couple men that are missing that are Native. So that's what the walk was. But she likes what she's doing. I asked her, she just had that one moment, and that was probably a month after she got hired. Hi, Victoria. So I know. I'm hoping we're gonna knock. See how long it'll last. What else does it say? But she knows when it surprised Scott and I when she chose the career she was going. And I asked her, I said, what made you do this career? And she goes, Tim. And I'm like, what? My foster son, Tim. His mom abandoned him. He went to Job Corps. He got in trouble in Job Corps, and they dismissed him from Job Corps. And I get the phone call. I'm not his legal guardian, but she didn't put her own information on his paperwork. Tim's biological mom. She put mine. They had to contact a lawyer, and the lawyer says, Mom put her on there. So they put Tim on a bus, and then he came to my house. We couldn't find her. So she abandoned her son. We found out she moved to Utah. Here's Tim in Wisconsin. And she didn't want him to come. She goes, I don't want him here. So I went downtown and got assistance for him. I told him, you can live with us, but you have to get a job to get, they don't give you very much. I only got $275 and I think $150 in food stamps, and he got a medical card. It's not very much to foster. I don't know if it's more if you foster a child, but that's all I got. So I said, I'll give you some of the $100 and some, but I'm going to put it toward a bill, water bill, because my water bill is going up. And you must go to school. And he did. Tim graduated. He thanks me all the time. He thanks God and I every day. Whenever he sees us, he thanks us. He's still in our life. So Diamond said that was the reason she chose the career she wants. She went in. She wanted to help kids like Tim in Savannah, because Savannah's mom went to prison, and she wanted to come back. She was told she had to live with her grandparents, but she wanted to graduate from high school with Diamond. So I had Savannah living with me. Yeah. She came to Scott and I. Savannah did. She missed her friends. So December, I want to say it was December, she moved in with Scott and I. So I had Savannah. I had Tim. And then Diamond's friend Donovan, his parents kicked him out. He turned 18. Get out. He wasn't even finished with school. So he was working a job, living at a homeless shelter. It's like it's December. And they shut the homeless center down. You can't come in after a certain time. Nobody knew this. He'd show up in the morning with Diamond. He would stuff, whatever he had, in my garage. Well, I don't know why I went to my garage about 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. And there was a movement that scared the living daylights out of me. Here it's Diamond's friend Donovan, and he's sleeping in my boat. All covered up, sleeping bag and whatever else he found out there in my garage. Scared the living bejesus out of me. And I remember going, Donovan, what are you doing? And I said, come in the house. And that's when he told us that his parents kicked him out. And he didn't get back to the homeless shelter because he had to work later. And he was sleeping in my garage off and on for 2 months. Because we were, he'd sneak in. Well, after that, I got a hold of the social worker at school. Donovan's aunt took him in. But Donovan says it's like that. He didn't know. So I don't get parents that have children. I know Donovan was a little. He never got in trouble with the law. He was just a shyster. He wasn't and he was abused by his dad. But he'd never tell anybody. He told Diamond. That's all I know. But I can't understand parents that throw their kids out because of behavior. You work it out. But that's why Diamond picked the career she chose. Is to help kids. And like she says, there's easier cases. Families that are in the program because they needed help and they came on their own. And then there's harder cases. So what is everybody doing out there? Have you guys been working on any projects? I have not seen anybody or talked to anybody in such a long time because of my internet. I do it on my phone, but I don't like typing on my phone. I did watch a couple live videos. I just didn't say hi. It was I was okay. That's how my week went last week. I mean, I only talked to Sabrina, I think. Been organizing stickers. I think I only talked to Sabrina last week one time because Diamond had me out at the campus 3 times last week, and I still wasn't feeling good. And I went to the doctor, and they put me back on antibiotic and cough syrup, and I was diagnosed with emphysema. Oh no, what the hell's the name? Not emphysema. Oh, no, I can't remember. I hate that one again. But it's going around. He thinks Scott and I both got it. But by the time I went to see him, I was already getting over it. But I can't remember what he told me. But the medication I was put on this time, me and Scott both, we both went to the doctor. It kicked it because we've been feeling better. Not this past weekend, the weekend before. Scott told his boss, "Don't even call me to do any runs this weekend. All I do is want to sleep," is what he said, and that's exactly what Scott did. Slept. But I can't remember the name now. Influenza. I'm probably saying it wrong. Because our COVID test Diamond thought we had COVID. So we did the test. When I got some tests from Walgreens, they came negative. Every test in COVID came negative. So, but by the time I went to the doctor, I was feeling better. And then when me and Scott both went to the doctor, he pretty much thinks we had emphysema. Emphysema? Emphysema? I don't know if that's the right name of it. But we still got put on a medication for it. And we had a cough syrup pill, an antibiotic, and then I don't remember the other one. I'd have to look at the name. They're upstairs though in my bedroom. I'm not gonna run and get them. But whatever it was, it did the trick. It was nothing we were doing, and I said to the doc, because I seen him back in March, I believe. No, it wasn't, or April. I'd have to look at my calendar. And I was already sick. So he was surprised when I recalled and went and made an appointment that I was back again for this, that I was still. But I said to him, oh, I was feeling better until Scott got sick. I was feeling better, but oh, nice. Wait, I was going to say, I've been waiting for a real beautiful day because I want to do something out on my clothesline with some paper, and I want to see how well it goes. I haven't did paper for a while. So I'm okay if the orange touches the black a little bit, because I don't have to be that perfect. This one I want to fix though. I don't like how that looks on the side. Okay, there we go. That's better. There we go. So, to the fact that I was so sick, I was laying in bed trying to figure out something to watch. Have you guys ever watched Sister Wives? Well, I did. Oh, hell no, would I ever live that life. I'd have killed that man. I'm sorry to say if he was my husband. I know I'm late to the game of watching it, but I watched every season up to now. But oh my god, they had one husband, 3 wives, 18 kids total, and he he's crazy. Alrighty, as long as I'm still on, I'm not going anywhere. But man, I would not live that life. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to watch. I usually get a series or something, and then I watch it when I go to bed. I saw all these little clips come up of Sister Wives. So I thought, well, I'll check it out. So I started from the beginning. They're always moving. I skipped some parts though. I wasn't going all the way back. All right. Let's see what else is new. Nothing really. Only that Scott and I have been sick. I've been sick since about the middle of March. Scott was about about the end of April, beginning of May. Um, Started my garden, decorated the front yard. Um, Mowed the grass twice already. Diamond graduated from college. Saber's good. Went back to the wife. They're working out their differences. So that's good. Mother's Day was awesome. I got a starry night ring from Diamond. I could show you. And I got socks from my son. If you're wondering what. He worked, he gets, they're through his Mac Snap-on or tools, whatever. And he gave me a pair at Christmas. And I loved them. Here's my Mother's Day ring. That's the ring Diamond got me. Starry Night. Is that pretty? So that's my Mother's Day present from Diamond, Sam, the kids. And here are the socks from Xavier. Yeah, Mac Tools Bamboo Women's Short. Love them. I got 7 pair now. And Chantel tells them, you can't give your mother socks. My mom told me that I don't expect my kids to give me gifts. A phone call, Happy Mother's Day, I don't need a gift. But with Xavier, he's like, I don't know what to buy my mom. I don't know what to buy mom. And I said to him, when he asked me when I went for Mother's Day, I said, look in the backyard. I remember what I told you when you lived here. And he went, what? I said, think about it. And then he remembered the socks because they're not cheap. And so Chantel goes, you can't give your mom socks. He goes, it's something my mom wanted and needs because the socks I was wearing were leaving a mark on my ankle. They're like cutting off my circulation. So I didn't like them, and I was going to buy new socks anyway. So that's why I was going to buy some from Xavier. He was going to let me know when the sale was on because they're like, I think 2 for $22. They're not cheap socks. But man, they're good socks. Oh, they're so comfy. So he didn't let me know. The reason he didn't let me know is because he bought me 6 pair. And he got some for Father's Day too. So, and I told Chantel, don't worry. She just thought it was, I don't know what she thought actually. But I'm like, Chantel, it's what I wanted. So, because she usually gives a plant. And I liked it. I kept it alive all summer. Oh, I know. Hang on, I'll be right back. I had the message. I'm gonna put my son up. I have to go. Diamond just texted me. Oh, she asked me to call her real quick, so I will be right back. Yes, I know. I don't remember where it's at. His wife was talking to some singer. She said she's Sorry about that, guys. Okay. What's she say? So, I'm back. Thank you guys for waiting. All right. Diamond and Span, I have this thing every time one goes to each other's house, they take something and see how long they notice that it's missing. So I was there Saturday. There's this turtle on there, sits on a log outside their house, and it's all wood. It's so cool. So I took it. Let's see how long. She noticed. She actually noticed, but she thought Savannah did it. And Savannah's like, nope. And Sam wouldn't tell her, and Sam knew I had it. And then she goes, my mom took my turtle. So I had to go get it. But I want to repaint it. She didn't answer me. So I'm asking her if I can clean them up and paint them. Give them a makeover. Make them fresh. I think I did pretty good with the color that I thought I needed. So because Asian beetles, beware. That's what that's going to do. They're little, I mean, they're like not orange, but they're not red either. See, there's the ladybug. What the heck did I just touch? See, there's the ladybug, and then there's the. Why did your phone keep doing that to me? And then there's the Asian lady beetle. Asian lady beetle. So these are going to be the beetles. I'm going to put Asian lady beetles. Beware. Because I don't know what else to put. And then it'll go out by my other garden on the other side. I find them in my shower all the time. They come through I said, this guy, how in the hell did they get through? But they seem to find their way. I tell you, the little buggers. All right. Sorry, she's asking about the turtle. Okay. I got my picture back up. Alrighty. There we go. All right. So this the face, face, the face, the face. Okay. I did get new brushes. Oh. I did get new brushes the week prior to getting those brushes because I didn't know if I was going to get them in. Because I got ordered them from Timo. So I was like, Five Below. I'm busy. Sabrina goes, "Are you still alive?" And I went, "I think so." Let's see. Yeah. Cool. So I'm just going to use a marker real quick. And kind of, I think this side looks better for the face. Yeah. I'm just going to go the marker around. Okay. All right. Oop. Hello. Welcome back. Is it raining by you, Sabrina? Cold. Yeah, we got cold. It was cold yesterday as well as today, and now it's raining. It's like, Jesus, I wanted to be outside. I wanted to plant my flower seeds today. Speaking of that, to watch. I have a delivery coming, and I don't want it to get wet. Let me see. Yep, it's on my porch. I gotta go get it. Oh, I got the 30 in there. Oh, I guess so. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll plant them. I can plant them. Okay. So I ordered some seeds for in front of my window on the front of my house. That's what that was. So this is what they're gonna look like. If they grow. They're gonna be in front of my windows. This window behind me, where my flower bed is. I'm hoping that comes up. I think it looks so pretty. So I bought just one pack just to see. And to see what happens. I'm hoping that they'll come up. I said 2 weeks. You should start seeing something. All right, let's blow dry these a little bit. And do another coat. I want to at least get one done. Been on here an hour and 35 minutes. I'm in no rush. But so what are you doing now, Sabrina? Nothing. You want to go live? I would like to try out StreamYard. Just sit back and craft, chat. And see how I can stay on StreamYard. We can. All right, guys. I'm going to end this one. I'm going to set up StreamYard. Sabrina's going to join me. I'd say about 20 minutes. Does that work? And see if I can stay on StreamYard. I stayed at almost an hour and a half, or over an hour and a half, just on YouTube. So that's a good sign. Yay! So let's go see if I can hook up to StreamYard. We're just going to chat and craft. So get your craft stuff and come in and join us in about 20 minutes. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm glad I actually got to stay live today. So we'll see you on StreamYard.